So just like during the 9th anniversary, the 10th anniversary of Dokkan is reintroducing the Rainbow Tons of Thanks tickets, which are really good value. Now, these tickets are essentially free summons on the brand new Carnival or Dokkan Festival banners that are releasing. And this year it is of course going to be the Vegito banner, the Super Saiyan 4 slash Blue Evolution banner, the Super Gogeta banner, and then the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan slash Goku and Frieza banner. So all four of these banners, you'll be able to choose where you want to use your tickets. Now this year is actually going to be a different format as well, it seems, and we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about when you could use these tickets and of course how to get these tickets. Now, if you've been playing the game, you probably have seen you've already been able to collect a good amount of them, but I think the most important thing I want to cover is how these tickets will actually operate this year, because like I said, it seems to be a lot different compared to usual, and in my opinion, a much better format. So if we go ahead and take a look at last year just as a comparison, how these tickets worked is you collect a total of 50 thanks tickets and you'll be able to do a multi-summon that recruited 77 characters total. Now this multi-summon didn't guarantee anyone featured or anything like that, but you do get the 71st to 77th character guaranteed SSR, which means that you get a total of 7 guaranteed SSR characters throughout the actual multi. So with that in mind, you're able to get a decent amount of characters. Actually, I think, yeah, that is 7 characters, not 6, but these tickets were actually only usable in part 3, right? In part 3 you would actually have to wait for that to kind of finish up happening, and I believe that's about like around the 21st or so is usually when part 3 is. So you would have to wait a little longer after the part 2 banners were out for like a week or so, and it would be kind of annoying to have to wait, right? Now they made a change to where that's not going to be the thing anymore. If we take a look here, the 10th anniversary banner with the ticket summon, there was an ad for this specifically. It does say that we are getting 100 tickets this year, which was already confirmed in the news, but this is just the JP ad for it. And we could see very little here in the bottom, 215, which is February 15th. As in, that's when the part 2 banners actually do drop. So this tells us that when the part 2 banners drop within the next 24-ish hours, we will actually get the option to use our tons of things tickets compared to having to wait for the 21st, like I said, which is a huge upgrade in itself, getting it a week early, and that will allow people to summon using their tickets before using their Dragon Zone on the banners, not having to worry about missing out on any discounts, right? Which is really great. But of course, the second thing here is we see it is 100 tickets total rather than the 50 tickets. Now, at first, people may have assumed, hey, we'll actually be able to do 2 multis on this, but that actually seems like that won't be the case. Now, we could take a look here at the current in-game news for the banner itself on, well, not the banner itself, my bad, the tickets themselves on the global version. But we see 90 tons of thanks summon tickets can be obtained for parts 1, 2, 3 of the missions, and then another 10 can be obtained upon first login. So in total, you should be able to get 70 tons of thanks tickets by completing all the missions that are currently available, and you'll be able to get the last 30 in part 3. So technically you still have to wait to be able to do all these summons that you want to, but you can still use 70 tickets early on. Now you'd be asking, you know, you just talked about these multi-summons being 50 tickets total, what's going to be the difference this year? On top of that, it seems like if we take a look here at this banner that we got in the data for the tons of thanks tickets, it's a lot different. 1 SSR character guaranteed per multi-summon, and then 9 of the featured characters, of course, could be Dokkan and Wicked LR. This is the Vegito banner. 1 SSR character guaranteed. Now, what this tells me is that it's not going to be a full, like, 50 character multi-summon that you're going to be doing, or else it would be something like, you know, the 71st to 77th characters or something like that, right? I don't recall at the top of my head if the banner specifically stated that. It's like, oh, it's this certain amount of characters. I think that's something I should have brought up before actually starting this video. That's my bad, y'all. We could pretty easily bring it up right here though with the tickets. I think, yeah, right here. Yeah, the banner itself does not actually say that, but this is obviously not also saying that's one guaranteed SSR character per multi. I think that this banner is actually going to be just like 10 tickets per multi, which will actually give us more overall value, because compared to getting 7 guaranteed SSR characters, we are actually technically getting 10 guaranteed SSR characters. Beyond that, you're not actually going to be stuck to using all your tickets on one banner, because before you would get the 50 tickets and you would essentially have to choose which banner you want to summon on, whether it's the Broly, Gogeta, Beast, or Gamma's banner. You're just stuck to that one banner. But now, if they're going to be split into multis separately, I think, again, at bare minimum, it's going to be 10 characters per multi, and I think that's going to be the case. 10 multi summons for free for the 10th anniversary, 100 tickets. That just kind of all fits well, rather than it being like, 20 tickets or something like that. Usually is 1 ticket per character slot. And with that being the case, we are getting basically an additional 23 characters total, an additional 3 guaranteed SSRs essentially, right? But let's say you do 3 multis on the Vegito banner, you get the character you want, you're not stuck on that Vegito banner anymore. Unlike before, where you're like, oh, I'll put all my eggs in one basket. I can go ahead and now move on to the Gogeta banner, and I want to, do the rest of my multis there. I could do 3 multis on Vegito, 5 multis on Gohan, 2 multis on Gogeta, right? It's just way more flexible, and that's just a really, really good change from what it looks like, not being stuck to that specific banner. So that's how these tickets look like to be actually working, which is really cool. Now, again, we don't know exactly when the part 2 banners drop. I did make a video about it earlier, but the part 2 banner should be out within at least the next 24 hours, so keep a lookout for that specifically. Now, in terms of getting the tickets right now, not really a difficult thing either. We can go ahead and see. It's basically just events related to part 1 and part 2 is what you want to go ahead and do. So you want to clear all these brand new story events that have been releasing the past few days. Luckily, it's nothing really too tough, nothing really too difficult. If you take a look here at the part 1 missions, I'm sure a lot of you have done this just to form up Dragon Stones anyways, but you just want to clear the story events, right? Just basically completing them all, getting them all done. Very easy to do. But another thing you want to do is make sure you level up the Demon King Piccolo and the Kid Trunks free-to-play SSRs. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's these 2 characters. This Demon King Piccolo does actually drop from the Dragon Ball free-to-play story. This Kid Trunks drops from the Dragon Ball Z story, right? I think if you take a look at the exact one, yeah. Tale of Super Warriors Dragon Ball Edition and Tale of Super Warriors Dragon Ball Z Edition. You're able to farm these 2, get them to SA 10. Demon King Piccolo could actually end up being a really good free-to-play character, by the way. We know this character is going to be awakening into an LR. I mean, this guy has a lot of potential, man. He's also going to have a standby skill. We know that when he becomes an LR, standby skills are usually pretty invincible, right? And even though he's free-to-play, he might not be as strong as some other characters. I mean, this guy still has the support here. He still has guard right there. I mean, give him damage reduction, mega support. This guy could be really good. Kid Trunks, it looks like he's actually going to end up being a tag character with Goten, so we'll see. I mean, based on his kit, I'm not like jumping out of my seat compared to Demon King Piccolo, but that's not really anything we could officially say how these 2 are going to end up being. But you want to make sure you farm them up, you get them 100%. Now, even if you don't know what to build for the hidden potential system yet, it's not a big deal, because you can always change the hidden potential system by farming other versions of them, keeping them SSR, and then when you farm extra copies, you could basically reset the hidden potential system for free without using stones, of course. But yeah, no, that is important, because by farming these characters, you're getting a total of 10 tickets here. So that's a free multi just by farming these characters. Then of course you need to complete all the part 2 missions. So that's another 4 tickets there. Again, these are very, very important missions to go ahead and get done. That's really, actually, it's not even just 10 tickets. It's a total of, is that 14? Can't math at the top of my head. Yeah, it's 14 tickets, and then I guess 18 here when you count this. So it's very easy to go ahead and get this done. I assume what the part 3 missions will be is continue to clear the story events, and then awaken the Goten and Trunks card to Goten and Trunks, then get the Demon King Piccolo to almost said SA 15, but it would be actually, I don't think, well, you might have to SA 20 him, but I would assume it's mostly just awakening to LR. That should be good as well. Either way, that's how you get all these tickets, and that is 100 free summons for the anniversary banners, which is really quite generous. I would honestly argue, just free summons here. A lot of people will end up getting at least one of the brand new LRs with these tickets, so that is really cool. But that's it for me. Let me know what you guys are thinking, who you're gonna choose to summon on with the tickets. We'll get the actual live stream with the details for the part 2 LR characters later today. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.